And welcome back. We're joined live in the studio now by Councillor Kim Bergel, who's the unopposed candidate for Mayor of the City of Eureka. Kim, welcome to Redwood News.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a real pleasure. Welcome back, I should say. Yes, it's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Now, what experience have you learned from being on the council that maybe have changed the way you perceive issues?
I think it's really important that we work together and collaborate, and that's something that we've had a lot of experience with over the last 8 years, and been really grateful for the team that I've gotten to work with and all the people in our city that step up when it's necessary. We live in a community that does that, and I feel really fortunate to be able to have that conversation, to be able to work that way.
Now, what would you say are the biggest issues that face the people of Eureka currently?
Well, people would say that it's homelessness, and I would say that it's mental health, which homelessness is a product of. I think that getting at the causes and conditions of what's happening in our region and in our city is how we move forward. You know, I think it's really important that we lift people up. That's a healthy community, that's what we do, and so by looking at mental health and how we can support people from that perspective, I think that things will begin to change, and that businesses will be happier because we won't have as many issues hanging out down in their areas.
Now, how will you approach the job of mayor based on your experience that will be unique to you?
So I've been Mayor Pro Tem for 5 years, and I will just continue to approach the job the way I always have, with my whole heart, with all my energy and my love for our city. I'm accessible, I'm available, I get dirty, I get down in the trenches, as you know, and I long for a community that continues to grow together and to bridge the divisiveness that's been happening in our region, because it's just not very fun for anyone.
Now, what would you say are the top 3 qualities any person elected to the council in general should bring to the office?
Well, I think that their motive needs to be good. I think if you're, doing the job for the money, that's problematic. The people that I work with, we do the job because we love the city of Eureka. We do the job because, I do the job because I have my kids here and I want them to stay here or at least come back. I think it's really important to be honest. Super important. Regardless, people will say what they will say, but as long as you maintain your honesty and your integrity inside yourself, you'll be okay. And thank God that's been my that's been my saving grace. And then also, I think it's really important to be hardworking and accessible and open-minded.
Now, you've touched on this briefly, actually, because the pay structure for the mayor's office does make it certainly a part-time role, but you've got a lot of other things in your life. How will you balance everything out?
The same way I always do. One day at a time, one thing at a time.
Okay, now it is a very important role in our community. Now, there have been issues with similar office holders in recent years, nationally as well as locally. How have you and how will you avoid falling into any negative position in this role?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't look for negativity. I don't look for those types of things. I look for what's good in our region and what's good in our city and how we can collaborate. Sometimes there are problems with people, but I think that if we all want the same things, and if we can get to that place where we know what those are and build on that, whether we disagree up here or not, we can start building relationships.
Now, if anything, what would you like to share about your personal background and interests that you think voters should know about you to help them make up their mind?
Oh, personal? So I work as an instructional aide with Life Skills Kids. I have 2 kids of my own. I was a founding family in Redwood Coast Montessori, which is a local school. We started with 16 kids, and now it's well over 100, so it's really an amazing and wonderful thing. I really have always been involved in service, and I think that that's a critical piece of health in a community and in a person, to be willing to give back. So those are just a few things about me.
Now, Kim,
you may already know.
Now, we've got about a minute left, but where can viewers get more information about you?
So you can go on either one of my Facebook pages. I have Kim Bergel for Eureka City, or Kim Bergel, Eureka City Council Ward 5, and then I have Kim Bergel for Mayor. Kim Bergel for Mayor on Facebook. Now,
staying as mayor, obviously, you're not going to miss the council work. It's something that you're really excited about, I imagine.
It is, and I'm so grateful that I'll have this opportunity now to continue to work on the jobs and the things that I have been working on that are so important to me. Maintaining relations with the Wiyot tribe, and again, mental health, and working with the businesses to mitigate the problems that they are having with that.
Kim, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in. We always run out of time, so sorry about that, but thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be right back after this short break.